Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wellness Tank. In this first episode today, we set the tone for understanding the concepts of wellness in its true sense. And today we have a panel of all experts in the health and wellness industry. Let me introduce you to the team that is here who will be sharing their insights on the concepts of wellness. Because Wellness Tank is all about understanding the true meaning of wellness. Because if we are well, we surely can live the life to the fullest. So please, doctors, can you just introduce yourselves?
Yes, good morning everyone. I'm Dr. Smita. I'm practicing in DXN clinics as head consultant and I'm MD in Ayurveda.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Deepti Bachao. I'm a MBBS doctor and I work with PMC, Pune Municipal Corporation.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kritika Padmanabhan. I'm a two-time gold medalist in psychology and currently I'm working with DMI.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Sneha Sawant. I'm an Ayurveda physician working in DXN clinics.
Hello, I am Dr. Aishwarya Pandre. I'm an Ayurvedic physician working in DXN clinics.
You see, we have a fantastic panel today. And I think the discussion today will be a very good opportunity to understand the insight into what wellness truly is. Because all these doctors of different pathies and different sciences actually at the core believe that wellness is the key for our better living. So let's start the conversation today. So as we open the floor, I know we would like to understand from you all what basically is your understanding of Ayurveda. So can we have it from Dr. Aishwarya?
Okay, so Ayurveda is basically a life science. It tells you all about how you have to live your life. It includes food, the daily regime, the seasonal regime that you need to follow to stay healthy. So it is a science of life.
Oh, so you define it as a science of life.
Yes.
Dr. Sneha?
Yes, अगर हम आयुर्वेदा को देखा जाए तो हम जैसे आयुर्वेद एक शब्द है आयु प्लस वेद, तो हम इसे अगर एक्सप्लेन करें तो वेद मीन्स नॉलेज, जैसे डॉक्टर ऐश्वर्या ने कहा वेद मीन्स नॉलेज एंड आयु को अगर हम एक्सप्लेन करते हैं तो चरक संहिता में इसका बहुत ही सुंदर डिटेल में वर्णन मिलता है। जैसे एक श्लोक आता है, शरीर इंद्रिय सत्वात्म संयोगे, मीन्स जो हमारी बॉडी, शरीर, इंद्रिय, हमारे 5 सेंसेस एंड आत्मा, इनका जो संयोग कॉम्बिनेशन है, तो इसे हम आयु कंसिडर करते हैं। आयु की डेफिनेशन ऐसे बताई गई है चरक संहिता में। तो हमारे शरीर को, हमारे सिस्टम को जानना ही आयुर्वेद है। इतना सिंपल चरक संहिता में आयुर्वेद के बारे में बताया है। आयुर्वेद वैसे बहुत वास्ट है, हम कितने भी साल पढ़े तो भी कम है हमें इसके लिए, बट एक सिंपल लैंग्वेज में देखा जाए तो हर एक आदमी को आयुर्वेद क्या है ये पता होना चाहिए। तो हमारे बॉडी के बारे में डिटेल में जानना, हमारे सिस्टम के बारे में जानना ही आयुर्वेद है।
फैंटास्टिक, मतलब मैकेनिक को अपनी मशीन के बारे में जानना जरूरी है। ओके, फैंटास्टिक। डॉक्टर स्मिता?
Actually, Ayurveda focuses on healthy lifestyle, eat well, exercising, and also your mind. Okay, so Ayurveda's goal is स्वस्थस्य स्वास्थ्य रक्षणम आतुरस्य रोग प्रशमनम च, मतलब जो लोग स्वस्थ है उनका स्वास्थ्य कैसे मेंटेन रखे, उनको हेल्दी वेलनेस की तरफ ज़्यादा बताया गया है। और उसके बाद जो डिसीज्ड लोग हैं, जो रोगी है, उनको ट्रीटमेंट के बारे में बताया। तो स्पेसिफिकली आयुर्वेदा साइंस ऑफ लाइफ है, जो हमें लाइफ कैसे जीना है वो सिखाता है।
वाओ। Now, in terms of modern medicine, मुझे नहीं लगता wellness का concept इसमें होगा। Do you think even modern medicine is into wellness?
The basic WHO definition of wellness is the state of a body, a complete state of a body, a physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely absence of disease. So that is the definition of wellness. So
yeah, so modern medicine also believes in wellness.
Right.
Okay, so is there anything else that when you talk about, because people go to modern medicine only for illness, so do they come for wellness also?
No, I don't think so, because I think it is regarded that whenever you feel sick or when you are ill, you need a doctor. Otherwise, there is no need to consult a modern medicine doctor. So, which is a very wrong concept, and we need to change it.
Yeah, wow. And what about psychology? Does psychology also have a concept of wellness?
Absolutely, yes. Psychology itself means the study of the mind. And when we are discussing the mind, now there are two parts to this, the conscious and the subconscious. Something which you cannot see is the subconscious, but it is going to affect the conscious mind. So in psychology, wellness is all about the mind, how we are going to train it, how we are going to not just think about absence of illness, but we are going to focus on wellness. So yes, when it comes to therapists and counselors, this is what we like to do. Prevention is better than cure.
And I think the numbers of counselors are now just increasing. Okay,
That's
so that
correct.
means mental health is also on rise, as well as when people get sick and they are actually going through sickness, mental health gets affected a lot.
Absolutely.
And that's where they go to alternative pathies. That's what they call Ayurveda as, and they want to seek a little more help in, especially when the conditions are chronic. So let's open the floor. We can discuss among ourselves. When we talk about Ayurveda, or we talk about modern medicine, or we talk about psychology, the baseline is that everything we are expecting it to be normal, and that's what normalcy we're calling as wellness. Yeah. So Dr. Aishwarya, you're an MD in Dravigun. That's herbal medicine. So what is your concept? Because herbal medicine and wellness, how do they go along?
So basically, you need to learn that herbal medicine is not just a medicine. Herbs जो है हमने देखा है कि वो हमारे डेली लाइफ में भी आता है. जैसे हमारे स्पाइसेस है तो उसका भी हम यूज करते हैं. वो एज अ न्यूट्रास्यूटिकल हम यूज कर सकते हैं कि किसी दवाई के फॉर्म में भी अगर किसी को भूख नहीं लग रही है, छोटा बच्चा है, तो उसको हम छोटा सा मरीच जिसे कहते हैं मीरे जो हमारे फूड में भी हम डालते हैं, तो उसका हम पाउडर फॉर्म करके हनी के साथ दे सकते हैं. तो वो एक मेडिसिन भी है, वो हमारे फूड में भी है. तो इस तरह से हम थ्रू हमारे जो डेली हर्ब्स है उसको हम यूज कर सकते हैं एज अ मेडिसिन एंड जस्ट फॉर वेलनेस, ठीक रखने के लिए.
एंड आयुर्वेदा में तो कहते हैं कि किचन में आपकी मेडिसिन की पूरी पोटली पड़ी हुई है.
राइट.
हाँ, अगर वो समझ में आया तो किचन से ही आप क्लिनिक चला सकते हो. इज दैट ट्रू?
यस यस.
So now, so Dr. Sneha, you have anything to say कि when it comes up to medicine, अभी जैसे ये डॉक्टर ऐश्वर्या ने कहा कि कुछ चीजें जो किचन में है वो यूज करके आप अपने आप को वो इलनेस कैटेगरी तक जाने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, आप छोटी छोटी चीजों को वहीं संभाल सकते हो. तो कैन एवरीबडी डू दैट, और ऐसा कुछ नहीं, मतलब सबके लिए सेम होता है आयुर्वेद में?
नो, सबके लिए सेम नहीं है. आयुर्वेदा में जो बेसिक्स बताए गए हैं, जो हमारी बॉडी है, बॉडी का कंपोजिशन है, जो हमारे दोषाज है, धातु है, मल है, और दोष धातु मल, ये तीनों जो है इनसे बना हुआ है, इनसे हमारी बॉडी बनी हुई है. तो जो हमारा मेडिसिन होते हैं, जैसे हर्ब्स होते हैं, वो हर एक प्रकृति के लिए नहीं है. जैसे उन्होंने अभी एक एग्जांपल दिया कि मरीच जो ब्लैक पेपर है, अगर ब्लैक पेपर पित्त प्रकृति वाला आदमी अगर ज्यादा लेता है तो वो पित्त को कम नहीं करेगा, वो बढ़ाएगा. तो ब्लैक पेपर कफ प्रकृति वाला जो आदमी है, जिनमें कफ ज्यादा बढ़ा हुआ है, जिन्हें अपर रेस्पिरेटरी डिसीजेस है या कफ खांसी बहुत ज्यादा आती है, वो लोग लेते हैं तो उन्हें उसका बहुत बेनिफिट मिलता है. तो इस तरीके से हर एक प्रकृति के लिए अलग अलग हर्ब्स, अलग अलग डाइट आयुर्वेदा में बताया गया है.
Okay, thank you so much. And आप as an MD in medicine, right? If I'm correct, है ना?
Yes,
MD
yes.
medicine में फिर वहां पे वेलनेस कैसे काम करेगा? मतलब आपने वेलनेस आयुर्वेद का बेस है, और फिर अभी जब ये कह रही थी कि प्रकृति is the basis on which you can choose, which one is right for you. So there is one श्लोक also, if I'm not wrong,
समदोषा समाग्नि समधातु मलक्रियाः प्रसन्नात्मा इंद्रिय मनः स्वस्थ इति अभिधीयते.
So nicely defined. Yeah.
यस, ये स्वस्थ की परिभाषा है, आयुर्वेद में बताई गई है. जो बेसिक प्रिंसिपल्स है, दोष, अग्नि और मल, जैसे डॉक्टर स्नेहा ने अभी बोला, दोष है त्रिदोष, वात, पित्त और कफ, और अग्नि जठराग्नि जो हमारा, वैसे 13 टाइप्स के अग्नि है, लेकिन उसमें से मेन जठराग्नि है, डाइजेस्टिव फायर. अगर वो मंदाग्नि हो जाता है, डाइजेस्टिव फायर वीक हो जाता है, तभी डिसीजेस आते हैं. और अभी जैसे डॉक्टर स्नेहा ने बताया प्रकृति के बारे में, जैसे पित्त प्रकृति वाले लोग मरीच नहीं ले सकते, लेकिन हमें ये देखना है कि प्रकृति में भी वो प्रकृति कैसी है. लाइक कंबाइंड प्रकृति भी होती है, कफ पित्त होती है, या फिर पित्त वात भी होती है. तो वात के लिए मरीच ले सकते हैं. तो ये प्रकृति एनालिसिस करना पड़ता है कि वो उस व्यक्ति में कौन सी प्रकृति है. जैसे कंबाइंड प्रकृति है वात पित्त, तो वो स्मॉल क्वांटिटी में ले सकते हैं मरीज, और हमें उनको क्या डिसीज है वो भी देखना चाहिए। उसके अकॉर्डिंग हम जो हर्ब्स है वो यूज कर सकते हैं। जैसे डॉक्टर ऐश्वर्या ने भी कहा कि रसायन, जैसे हमारे पास आंवला रसायन है, गिलोय रसायन है, तो वो हर कोई ले सकता है, उसके लिए प्रकृति देखने की जरूरत नहीं है। तो ऐसे आयुर्वेदा में बहुत सारे हर्ब्स है जो वेलनेस के लिए डेली यूज किए जाते हैं।
So then, when you heard now Dr. Smita telling us about Prakriti and there should be a normalcy, so Samadosha, Samagnisha, what is that concept in modern medicine?
In modern medicine, we learn physiology.
Physiology.
In the first year itself, we have pathology. What is physiology is how your body works, knowing your body or your organs. It's the physics and the chemistry of your body. So that if you know the normal basis of how your body is made up, you can find out what is missing or what is lacking, which will create a illness.
So when you talk about now normal values, isn't that when you do a blood test,
Yes.
you get those reports that this is your value, and then there is a normal value.
Normal
So
value,
you mean to
yeah.
say that normal value is the scale in which you see that a person is well?
Well, yes, and then if you know the normal values, you know what is the abnormal value, and that will that
high
high,
or
yeah,
low.
low. So that you will find out whether you are ill or no, or whether you're well balanced. Means all your hormones, your everything is balanced or no.
Actually, it's very similar to what Ayurveda does. Everything is unique. Looking at what your permutation combination of your humors are, you see the state of that person's mind, and then the mind comes in. So when you talk about the mind, because Prakriti, I think so in Ayurveda we have a concept of mind also of different types. Yes. So what is your take on that?
What I really liked about what Dr. Dipti also said is one word which she used was balance. So when we are talking about physiology, when we are talking about balance, that means something is imbalanced as well. Likewise, when we are talking about psychology and the mind, if there is some imbalance in your physiology, it is going to affect the mind. Now, you talked about blood tests. How are we going to measure that in psychology? So we do have some psychometric tests. Now here, if we are talking about IQ, which is the intelligence quotient, here we know that we are talking about intelligence as such. But moving beyond that, we came across emotional intelligence, or rather what we measure it as emotional quotient. So there are scales which measure how well can you manage your own emotions and also understand others. Now, these two were also discarded because something else came up, which is called the spiritual quotient. In an organization also, for instance, a person with high IQ and high EQ but less SQ will not be committed to the organization. He will not be loyal. So what we are trying to figure out is how can we actually measure a particular behavior and also in relation to your physiology. So how does the body also affect the mind and the mind affecting the body?
Okay, great. So it's very unique. Sometimes I feel that psychology is still evolving because, as you said, once upon a time, IQ was considered the way in which you could understand the mind. Then came the EQ and then the SQ. I don't know what else will follow, but it's still evolving, right?
Yes.
Studies are still evolving. Same with medicine, modern medicine. Also, there have been a lot of ways in which drugs have been improving. The efficacy and the effect has been improving. So, is the techniques and the tools to identify certain parameters within your body which can be considered normal. Like, for example, once upon a time to check blood pressure, we had to go to a doctor, right? Yeah. Now we can just buy a machine and we get to know, right? That is the kind of easy access that we have into understanding our own body. But it also causes a fear. Like, I keep on checking myself again and again, and every time my blood pressure goes high or low. So that another stress.
Nowadays, you monitor your ECG on your phone.
Oh, yeah.
So that's, but it's a problem. I mean, you don't know how to read a ECG, and it will show some changes, and you'll feel, oh God, am I going into a myocardial infarction, or is there something wrong? Means it has its pros and cons. So it's best that you ask an expert rather than you just, it's like Google, just you Google and you find that, this is this, and you have your own setup that, oh, maybe then you start thinking, oh, maybe I fit in this or I fit in that, but it doesn't help. It will just add on to your problems.
So maybe the journey into trying to find wellness for yourself actually is the cause of all the stress and strain of illness also, right? We are struggling to find this way or that way, and in Ayurveda, lucky at least we have something fixed, that nothing is changing because it has been an experiential science. And so when it comes up to applying principles of Ayurveda into lifestyle change, which is I think the need of time, with the kind of chronic diseases that are coming up, what would be your take on saying that how lifestyle change is important, and why should one at any given point of take that step to bring a change in their lifestyle?
We are seeing that all these lifestyle disorders are basically obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and now even hyper or hypothyroidism has come into the picture. Like any patients we deal with now, we are seeing that they are already diagnosed with hypertension and diabetes. So what is the reason behind this? We need to see that it is basically because of the kind of work people are doing. It is just a sitting job on the laptop, no movement. The timings of the eating their food is changed. Sleeping habits are disturbed. So it's basically all these changes that have affected people. And so this is where Ayurveda comes into picture, where they should follow their daily regimes, like setting out a good routine, waking up early, basically before sunrise, following a proper schedule, reaching your office on time, completing your work, sleeping on time, eating on time. This basically just following this one routine can even reduce all these illnesses drastically.
But that's discipline, and that's discipline means psychology. Again, the mind is playing a role in that, right?
Yes.
And you are the yoga. You also teach yoga.
In Ayurveda में एक word आता है प्रज्ञापराध.
हाँ.
That is प्रज्ञा means हमारी बुद्धि and अपराध जो कि हम मिसयूज करते हैं हमारे बुद्धि का, इंटेलेक्ट का, तो इसी की वजह से जो डिसीजेस है वो होने लगते हैं. जो हम देख रहे हैं कि अभी जो लाइफस्टाइल है, रात को जग रहे हैं लोग, या मोबाइल यूज करना, लैपटॉप या मूवीज देखना, तो इससे क्या होता है, जो वात दोष है वो बढ़ रहा है बॉडी में, राइट? ड्राइनेस बढ़ रहा है, या वात डिसऑर्डर जैसे जॉइंट पेन है, ये सारी प्रॉब्लम्स लोगों को आ रही है. तो हमें लाइफस्टाइल चेंज करना बहुत जरूरी है आज के इस पीरियड में. Yeah.
And so is the case with people now. I think so. You when you're seeing in your clinic, and you have so many phone calls coming on every Wednesday, you run a free, clinic, the teleclinic, right? So you have a lot of patients calling. I have 400, 500 people call you on Wednesday.
Yes.
So, afterwards, people are turning to Ayurveda for illness, or they're seeking wellness.
Actually, some of them came for illness. Okay, after they get treated with Ayurveda, they are following all the protocols that are given by doctors. Okay, like dinacharya, daily regimen, and diet changes also, like eating on time and eating dinner early.
What does modern medicine have to say about discipline?
As she mentioned that there are lifestyle disorders, so I would like to comment on that. Yes, there are stress-induced disorders. So many diseases coming up, like PCOD, for example. So many, I see all 16, 17 years old girls come to the clinic, to my hospital, and they say we have irregular menses and all. And when we ask the history, they'll tell that, I'm awake till 3, 2, I can't sleep properly. There are some problems, some stress, and this is contributing, the hormonal imbalance is happening in your body, and that's the reason PCOD is happening. But if you change your lifestyle, and there's no exercise, most of them are on the laptop or whatever work they are doing, but it's just sitting jobs, I feel, and they don't feel the importance of exercising, and that's the reason all these diseases are popping up in early age. So even the children, they're having specs and all at 10 and 12 years. So this is happening because you have screen time and all these things. So I think it's important that you are aware of your body and what the changes are happening in your body. You can understand there are few signs and symptoms which happen, and if you detect it early, then I think it won't follow as a disease. You can just nip it in the bud.
So that's exactly, I think, when you talk about the mind, disciplining the mind is the most difficult thing. And that means now getting anybody disciplined in the fact that you follow a routine or a lifestyle change is going to be a biggest challenge. So how do you as a psychologist address a concern like discipline? I think even the doctors would be interested to know how do we get our patients and how do we get people to follow discipline?
Correct. So, what I particularly would like to draw your attention to is psychosomatic disorders. Now, dis-ease itself means not being at ease. So, basically, when we are talking about psychosomatic disorders, we are talking about the effect that the body has on the mind and the mind having on the body. So, the first question nowadays, doctors don't ask about routine also. In fact, they ask, are you stressed? That's the first question they are asking patients. Why? Because somewhere this stress is affecting people of all ages, all races. Stress doesn't see whether you're a king or whether you're a pauper. And how do we manage this? Lifestyle modification is one of the things, but it's so difficult to get someone to that routine discipline. So then we ask them to train their mind by relaxation. And you all know that in 1 minute, there are millions of thoughts in your head. How are we going to train the mind?
60,000 thoughts.
To be precise, correct. So here we are discussing about something called as training your mind with meditation, for example. Now, when I ask you what is meditation, everybody is going to have a very different view. So that's another topic to discuss for sure. But yes, one more thing which I would like to tell, what we believe is, we psychologists, we encourage you to get social support. When you have a community to discuss with your problems and when you are able to express to them in an empathetic way, when they are there with you, your stress level will reduce. When you isolate yourself, what happens is you feel alone, you feel lonely, you're double stressed. So one of the things which we say, or rather what we are seeing now, the rise in the number of cases of depression and suicide cases. Over there, we particularly encourage people that when you're seeing someone who is upset or who is displaying these signs, don't run away from them. Lend an ear. So this is one of the very small tips which we give to our
I would
clients.
just like to add something which she mentioned. I think people should come up and they should not open up and not feel ashamed that you're undergoing a problem. I mean, you understand your body, your mind very well. You can predict the signs if that you are getting angry for no reason, and a lot of things are happening. But then you should be able to talk to people, or so you should be able to approach a psychologist or a psychiatrist. It's not stigma. I mean, yes, you are having a problem, so somebody should be able to address it because you're not able to address it. So I think you should just open up, and there should be more of the counseling part. Everybody needs it now. That's the basics, I think, for the wellness.
Yeah, but I think that's a challenge with wellness also. When it comes up to wellness, people, when they are well, they don't go and see a physician.
Correct.
Right? They don't need anybody's support because everything is going good. But same is with the mind.
Yes.
When the mind, you think everything is good, you can manage the little things, then you don't go and see anybody. Only when things go out of hand, we seek help, right? And in Ayurveda, I think the illness is very beautifully categorized, Vyadi, Sukha Sadhya, then Krucha Sadhya, then Asadhya, right? If I'm correct, I'm not good in my memory is not good, but maybe y'all can throw some light.
Do some Brahmi and also to stimulate.
Yeah. So, in Ayurveda, we do have herbs that can actually help you
reduce
your memory
stress.
also. Yeah. So, no, the question is, as I believe that everything is interrelated, the mind, body, your physiology, pathology, they are all just moving things here and there. So, the core here of our wellness tank is to understand that the whole concept was driven with the idea that there's a fish tank and the fish tank is filled with water, right? And then you put in the fishes because you want to see a beautiful fish tank moving here, the fish is moving here. And then we take the concept of the Ayurveda. One of the concepts is Purush Lok Tulya Siddhant. So whatever is in the world outside lies in you, and what is inside you is what's outside, right? If so, correct me, okay, wherever I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So I thought the same thing happens with the fish tank. When you fill it with water, put in the fishes are like cells, and they can swim very easily in the fish tank. But if you don't take care of the tank, you don't clean it properly, I think the fishes will not live long. They will suffer before they die, And sometimes you have to realize that the feeding and the elimination happens within that water itself,
Yeah.
right? And if you look at our body, the cells are like that fishes. They feed within ourselves and they also eliminate stuff within ourselves. If the elimination is not there, that's where the concept of detox became a fad. And today, detox is what people are seeking for. But Ayurveda, long time back, knew that. And when Chikitsa's two parts, they called it Shaman and Shodhan.
Shodhana Chikitsa.
I think that would be interesting if somebody could throw light that that's also a part of wellness. Yes, or no?
यस शमन चिकित्सा इज बेसिकली हम जहाँ पे मेडिसिन का यूज करके जो व्याधि है जो डिसीज है उसे कम करने का ट्रीट करने का ट्राई करते हैं और शोधन चिकित्सा अगर बॉडी में बहुत ज्यादा टॉक्सिन्स बन गए हैं तो हमें उसे जैसे पंचकर्मा है सेहन स्वेदन वमन विरेचन बस्ती इन तरीके से हम बॉडी को डिटॉक्स करते हैं इस
Okay.
तरीके से दो टाइप के ट्रीटमेंट्स आयुर्वेद